This is another recording of Lord Maher, page 3371, uh, middle of the chapter called Dehradun, the year's 1953. I feel deeply that by the end of December, something very serious to my body will happen. I also know and feel 100% rather than 200% that three things will happen, namely humiliation, apparent defeat, and manifestation. I also feel that these three things will not happen in 1953. Now, how can the following three feelings be reconciled? A, by December end, a very serious thing will happen to my body. B, I also feel that the three things mentioned in Life Circular number 9 will not happen in 1953. And C, but it must happen. There is another deep down honest feeling that from November, things for me and for those who are with or for me will be absolutely changed. Now, this amounts to four feelings. I tell you, and God knows, I mean every word I say, but how to reconcile them, even I can't understand it. These four feelings I know and understand, but how to reconcile them for the ordinary intellect to comprehend? At times, you yourselves understand things which you can't explain to others. I know these four feelings 100% deep down. I know they are conflicting, and I understand that. But how to explain it? I can't explain them. On the basis of these four feelings, I have decided certain things and certain other things which I will discuss and then decide. First, from August 1 to the end of November, I should have no headaches. I want to feel as if I am enjoying a good cricket match. So, from August 1 to the end of November, no one should tell me, Baba, I have heard this or that, or that certain persons want to see me, or that someone wants to bring his financial difficulties to my attention, and so forth. I tell you, this is most important. I do not want to be disturbed in any way. Second, from August to November, there should be absolutely no correspondence with me. If there is anything serious, such as a death, illness, etc., a telegram should be sent. Third, from August to November, no one should talk about money matters with me. That is the reason why I have settled all accounts until December. Fourth, I intend staying at Dehradun until the end of September. About October, November, and November, I have not decided yet. December is on its own. For October and November, I have three or four places in mind in view of what I expect to happen to my body in December. There is Mahabaleshwar, Dehradun, Mysore, and Hyderabad. I will think about it. That's why I told Vishnu to see about Mahabaleshwar and Panchgani. He says he has inquired about bungalows with several house agents. In December, I will not be in Dehradun or any fixed place, as I will be moving about from place to place. I know that in October and November, the climate is best here. All say so, but it is not the only thing I have to think about. In November, I have to think through the change, how I feel inside, in view of the 2 points, in parentheses, changing the place and something serious happening to his body, and then fix a certain place. I want to finish certain work before August 1. So we will leave on July 22, finish the work, and return on the 29th of July. The original plan I now want to carry out within 7 days. That is why I have been saying that we will visit 7 very good musts, 7 samadhis, and 7 dargahs, and finish the work in 7 days. Those who come with me will not sleep. Gustaji, Erich, Baidul, Pendu, Kishan Singh, Kumar, Elcha, and Helan will accompany me. Elcha is free to come with me or not. If he comes, he will have to keep awake. This ended the meeting. The July trip mentioned was later postponed until September. At the beginning of the next meeting on the following evening, Thursday, 16 July 1953, Baba had the Life Circular number 9 read out to him again. He then commented about it. In the ordinary sense, defeat means humiliation, but universal humiliation, as stated in the circular, and defeat are two different things. After that will be the attack, although I won't die from it. Still, it will be the ultimate cause of my physical death. If this is to come to pass, then the something which will happen to my body by December will not kill me before the ordained things happen, though some very serious trouble is to come. I know that you will give your head and life if ordered. You all will do it. But when the time comes, a lot of chaos and confusion will occur. History will repeat itself. Every day, thousands die. But it is difficult to die in the nick of time when the situation demands. Now, if we look at the current world situation, never before has there been such a situation. It has become so complex today that one can't decide what to do. For example, Korea. Fighting and peace efforts are going on simultaneously. Armistice is there, but South Korea says no. Today's newspaper will show that the heaviest fighting is still going on. Russia. Stalin is dead now. Beria, Soviet Minister of Internal Affairs, has been chucked out. Kruglov is now in the ministry, and all confusion for power exists there. Iran. Mossadegh is now nowhere. From all sides, he is chucked out. The assembly is against him. Side note says, Mohammad Mossadegh was the prime minister of Iran, but in August 1953, he was removed from power by a coup d'etat organized by the United States CIA. Egypt. The Suez Quarrel is going on there now. Britain has occupied Ismailia and its forces are there. India, half the population is now starving. If you go anywhere in the world, you will discover something new. All peace talks and all chaos. It is according to a certain law. Even this phenomena of illusion is based on the law of duality. So now, one thing must come to pass. Like a big balloon, if you keep blowing it up, it will either explode or it can be deflated. As long as you keep blowing, a time will come when you must either tie the balloon or let it burst. That critical time for the world has now come. I am telling you all. This is what I actually feel about the world. Never before have we had such times. You can hardly fix anyone in the world. Sorry, you can hardly find anyone in the world who is happy. Even I am feeling perplexed, wondering what to do. It is a great Kantala, headache, disgust for me, an infinite Kantala as to how I should speak and be free. Others would then also be free. You are waiting for that moment, but I am infinitely more impatient for it. The time has come and it must come to pass. Pointing to Maharaji, Baba warned him, be careful of your health. You are my arm, and once my arm was broken. So now you should see that it does not break again. If my people grow slack, all my limbs, hands, feet, and the whole body will tremble.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nilu was quick to crack. They are your limbs, but I am your but only I am your tummy. Baba smiled, then resumed. Be patient. Think that you have dropped your bodies. Gani, Chanji, and some other lovers of mine have dropped their bodies. So think of yourselves as included in their list. One day you have to drop the body. Think you are now dead, and thus stop worrying. The time has come for you to work for me. Such chances do not come easily. People are always engaged in producing children. The chance to serve me is rarely given. If you think more of me and less of your worldly affairs, my work will be done well. All of you must be happy and ready to sacrifice your lives for me. Then, when the time comes, none of you will fail. Baba joked, you are all rogues, gundas, hoodlums, steal money and rob banks. You too should be spiritual gundas and steal God. Scoundrels are not afraid to risk their lives to achieve their objectives. You too should not care about you, you too should not care about your lives in your efforts to attain God. Thus ended the meeting. In the afternoon, again referring to the setbacks in his work, Baba stated, an additional setback has occurred. The must brought by Elcha and Baidul is sick. I was thinking of working with him on the 20th to the 21st, but Baidul gave him 6 plates of dal and on top of it meat with a lot of chilies. It affected his stomach and has resulted in a setback for the work I wanted to do. He is a fine must. Now he has diarrhea, and if he dies, it will be a great burden on my head and on Baidul's head. Elcha is the chief cause of all the setbacks. He is the man who did not bring the station wagon. He is the man for whom the tour has been postponed. And he is the man who brought me the must. See that the must gets well by July 20. Otherwise, my work with him will end. His diet should be regulated as Nilu advises. Baba then discussed with Krishnaji his situation, informing him, I have decided that what you have been doing these past years, you should now do just the opposite for the next 4 months. From August until the end of November, do not stay in any ashram. Do not stay near any saint. Do not touch any woman. Do not do any propaganda work for me. Do not roam about, but stay in one place. Keep silence as much as possible for the 4 months and think of me. Krishnaji replied that what Baba ordered was exactly what he wanted to do. He would go and live in a small hut in his native village in Malabar, coastal South India, and read Baba literature. Baba agreed to his suggestion. And the footnote says, I don't see it.
Krishnaji also went and stayed in Sakori for some time. End of note.
Changing the topic, Baba then stated that in December of that year, although he was expecting something serious to happen to his body, he wished to visit Andhra, Hamirpur, Bombay, Pune, and Abhinagar, accompanied by 40 men. There would not be any restrictions against touching his feet, bowing down, or doing his puja and arti, as there had been during the Fiery Free Life programs. Complete freedom in this respect would prevail. Adi Sr. was told to inform the group heads in Andhra and Keshab Nigam, who was to arrange the program in Hamirpur. On 17 July 1953, Baba celebrated Kishan Singh's birthday and distributed cake and tea. Afterward, he continued his discourse on the states of God, given a few days before, for the benefit of those who had not been present. And Baba states, the state of the Majzub is very good. Neither has he anything to do for the world, nor for his body. He himself is drowned, and he is God himself. Except God, nothing exists for him. The Jivan Mukta is gross conscious. He eats, drinks, but has no concern with the world. The Sadgurus and Avatar also eat and drink, but their connection is with the whole world and with everyone. God is absolutely independent in his beyond state, so much so that he has no consciousness even of himself. In that state, he is the source of power, knowledge, bliss, beauty, and wisdom, but he is totally unconscious of them. The other day, I said that in Parabrahma state, God is called Allah. He is the absolute in that state. In it, he is conscious of his knowledge, power, bliss, eternity, and infinity, but he cannot express them in that state. God in human form can express all these. God is eternally independent. To say that God is eternal means that he always was, he always is, and he always will be. You cannot grasp this. We cannot comprehend this thing in our normal state. Imagine that he was. When we say was, it means that something existed before it. So, what is the beginning and when has it started? There is no beginning at all. And when there is no beginning, how can there be an end? Imagination cannot fathom that which has no beginning and no end because imagination is limited. It cannot grasp the unlimited, and the beyond state is beyond imagination. This means that we can never be able to understand God through the intellect. Whatever I am saying is also described in the Gita, Upanishads, Vedanta, the Bible, and Sufi literature. It is all written, but it has no meaning because God is beyond intellect. The mind's understanding cannot grasp him. So, what is the use of your trying to understand him by reading? Thus, God is beyond understanding. We also cannot say that God is one. The idea of oneness limits him, and he is infinite. So we can only say that God is. We can only say that in the beyond state, where there is no beginning or end, nothing exists but God. By saying that, we mean that except God, there is nothing. Thus, nothing exists. Now we will see how this nothing is this whole universe. There is nothing except God. So this nothing is in God in a latent form. If there is only God, then he is everything. So in this infinite everything, there is this latent nothing. But nothing is. The first imagination in Vedanta is called the lahar, or whim. By the Sufis, it is called guman, or fancy. This first imagination was the first urge in the beginningless beginning to know itself. As soon as this urge appeared, the beginning of the beginning started, not of God, but of the whim which created this nothing, which was latent in God. It was the whim, who am I? That very moment, with the beginning of the whim, nothing was produced. And instead of knowing himself, God began knowing this nothing. For example, imagine that when a whim comes, you are sound asleep, and Elcha, creating a disturbance, wakes you up. Now, the meaning of Elcha's disturbance is the whim to know oneself. So when you are disturbed, you gradually awake from your sound sleep. When you awake, what do you see? You see your own shadow before you. Thus, when God was awakened, he saw his own shadow before him. After completion of the 7 stages of evolution, his eyes were fully opened, and he saw his full shadow. The meaning of this full shadow is the nothing, which was latent in Paramatma and which manifested itself with the beginning of the whim. He saw this nothing through the 7 stages: gas, stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal, and then became a man. He completely forgot his infinity. He lost sight of his power, bliss, knowledge, and through the medium of the shadow of the nothing, according to Sanskaras, saw himself in the nothing. He goes on changing forms, at times man, at times woman, at times beautiful, at times ugly, sometimes rich, sometimes poor. He continues to change form. He experiences suffering and happiness, death and birth, and all this is illusion, sheer imagination, because all this is the nothing, which came into being with the start of the whim. His eyes opened fully after passing through the 7 stages. After they were completely opened in the form of man, he experienced the outer world, after which he began seeing himself within in the inner 7 states, which are called the 7 planes. God wants to know himself, but before knowing himself, he begins experiencing misery and happiness, as explained. After the journey through the 7 planes, he becomes fully conscious of his divinity. You find some people suffering, some happy, some ugly, some beautiful, some rich, some poor. But all this is fancy, delusion. When you become free, you will realize that all this is a dream. When God got the whim to know himself, the beginning began, and that which has a beginning also has an end. So now, for this nothing that is born of the whim, beginning and everything that is opposite to God appears. God is formless in the beyond state, so the nothing must have form. God is everything, and in him this nothing is latent. Nothing is opposite to everything. The everything, God, is formless. So nothing must have form, as it is contrary to everything. God is endless. Nothing must have an end. God is infinite. Nothing must be finite. God cannot be called one because he is so unique in his oneness beyond comparison that he cannot even be called one, whereas nothing is manifold. As soon as the nothing manifests, God, who is independent and beyond law, gets himself bound by law. Law of what? Of the nothingness. Now, the meaning of this nothing is nothing. Here it is the shadow. So, what is the shadow of this shadow of nothing? How has it all happened here? Demonstrating by pointing out the shadow of Elcha's hand, Baba stated, this shadow is due to the light and your hand, as it, the shadow, was latent in your hand. Light is the whim. The shadow is latent, but it is nothing. Yet nothing is. This nothing is bound by the law of nothing. For us, this law of nothing is binding. Nothing has three states called Teen Bhuvan, or three planes or levels: mental, subtle, and gross. All three states are covered by the law. Although everyone's face is different, yet each has 2 ears, one nose, and 2 hands, according to the law of nothing. This law is the cause of every binding, and it lasts until one is freed of it. Everything is fixed according to this law of nothing. A fixed number of different forms, a fixed number of births and deaths, everything. In reality, all this is nothing. Some births are good, some are not so good. It follows a zigzag pattern. A rich man, then a poor woman. Happiness and misery alternatively until the cycle of births and deaths is complete and emancipation achieved. The law of the nothing is in itself nothing. There is no such thing as misery. People cry out, suffer, complain about injustice, and all such things because they are unaware of the law. You think this is God's injustice, but God has nothing to do with it. This law of the nothing is not in God. It is in mental, subtle, and gross forms. So nothing means nothing, neither happiness nor misery, no birth, no death, no virtue, no sin. There is nothing such as sin. When a soul escapes this law of nothing and is merged in God, the God who is beyond this law, then the soul becomes God himself and free of all bindings. Hence, no law, no binding. If, after God realization, a soul attains gross consciousness by becoming a Sadguru, he then brings God down on the gross plane where the law prevails. He brings God down on the gross plane where the law prevails. He brings down the lawless God on earth. But because he is continually conscious of his lawlessness, his infinite power, the law cannot touch him. Lawless God is infinite, almighty, and all powerful. Now, the Jivan Mukta, God realized soul without duty, is never touched by the law. He eats, drinks, and does everything. This state is unique. He does everything, and while doing everything, does nothing. This state is so unique that even while doing everything, he does nothing. He does not eat, he does not drink, he does not sleep, he does nothing. In gross consciousness, it is like the state of the Majzub. The meaning of Jivan Mukta is that though the body, maybe it's through the body, is that through the, no, that The meaning of Jivan Mukta is that though in the body, he is free of the law. None can ever realize God through the channel of the intellect. Love for God should be such that it burns up the lover and turns him to ashes. Now listen to what I explain about the avatar, or the perfect master. The avatar comes after many ages. Lawless God comes down on earth in law. The law cannot touch him, but he touches the law. He grasps the law of nothing, acts like an ordinary human being, and uses his power, knowledge, and bliss for those bound, those in the law, to make them free from the law. That is why I say, you go, and I will come. This means that you should let go of this nothing, so that I, the everything, may reside within you. There being no you left, you become me. The nothing is absolutely nothing, and the meaning of letting go of it is for you to realize that it is really nothing, and you can never be bound by it. Some discourse. That night and the next morning, all those invited for the meetings left. Keshab Nigam was told to stay on for a few days to discuss the Hamapur Darshan program. Baba called Kutumba Sastri to Dehradun to discuss the Andhra programs on Sunday, 26 July 53. In the course of the conversation, Baba explained to Sastri, to know God is to become God. So how can you know what a perfect master is unless you become one? I may be either the avatar, a Sadguru, or an ordinary man. I may be anything. I am what you take me to be. If you think I am the avatar, I am the avatar. If you think I am an ordinary man, I am an ordinary man. I am that which I am. By being everything what you think me to be, I am. However, this is not important. If I am Baba, then for my work I need no one. And yet I tell you to be with me and ask the workers in Andhra to work for me for 4 months. If you look back on my life and work, I never have anything permanent. Hospitals, schools, and ashrams were constructed and pulled down because I have no need of any establishment or organization. Yet I want workers. Why? To make people ready to receive what God will make me give. The morning sun sheds its rays everywhere, but the sun does not need connection with the whole world. If after 400 or 700 years the world is full of houses and there is no room for its rays to penetrate the world and reach mankind, the sun may then resort to making people remove the roofs of houses so that its full rays may fall on everything and everyone. I want such persons who can demolish the roofs of low desires by spreading my message of love, so that when the time comes, like a cloudless day at 12 noon, people can receive the rays. Do not get involved in controversies, societies, factions, or such affairs. I wish you to work wholeheartedly as one unit, as one center, for 4 months. Just work and prepare people by informing them of the message of honesty, love, and longing for God. Make them enthusiastic, so that what God makes me give in December, they will be able to receive. Usually rivers flow into the ocean, but the rivers are now drying up. It is time for the ocean to flood the rivers. I may be anything, but when you work wholeheartedly, God, who is everywhere and knows everything, gives you rewards from him without your asking. Even if I am the devil, God will reward you according to your work. God is free, independent, and to know him we must work wholeheartedly and with no reservation. One who is free does not like any reservation. If you work for him honestly, with an open heart, God helps. Don't become a flatterer, and never be dishonest to yourself and others. Be natural and honestly simple. I consider one of my as I consider one as my center who loves me wholeheartedly for the sake of love. God may make me give that gift which is permanent. Only God is real. God is all love. God is all wisdom. God is all power. God is all beauty. God is everything. Baba concluded with Shastri by spelling out, there is only one thing which keeps you away from God, and that is lust. There is always ego in that. So lead a pure life.
Later that day, 26 July, Baba played cricket at the men's bungalow with the Mandali, plus Elcha, Helan, Kumar, Keki Nalavala, Hari Chand, and Kishan Singh. Oh, so uh, Elcha, Helen, Kumar, Kishan, and all the others were not considered Mandali, I guess. Elcha was made captain of one team and Kishan captain of the other. Baba played on both sides. The game started at 9 o'clock, and except for a few, the rest were bumbling participants, some of whom did not even know the rules. Baba batted and bowled with a small kerchief tied around his head, sometimes arguing over a call. Elch's team eventually lost, and Baba gave him 2 strokes on his backside with the bat. Baba decided that they would play cricket every Sunday, and their weekly games continued for some time. Both sides would want Baba on their side, since he was by far the best player. Cool. And even at the age of 59, 60, huh? At times, they would toss a coin to decide the issue. Baba's side inevitably won. T.A. Pillay, a retired civil engineer from Nagpur, and his family had come in Baba's contact through Keshav Nigam. In the family were 2 daughters, Veena and Meera. After meeting Baba in Nagpur, Veena had begun behaving like a Mastani and had become emaciated. She scarcely spoke or ate, kept to herself, and would sit for hours with a rapt expression on her face. The only time she came to life was when they recited the Arti before Baba's picture. Then she would participate and stand before Baba's picture with joined hands. Baba sent for the family and they arrived on the 27th. About Veena, Baba stated, in order to have such love as she has, Munis and Rishis do penance for thousands of years. Out of lakhs, that's out of hundreds of thousands, only one gets this kind of love. She is fully merged in me. She is mine. Baba took the girl to the women Mandali. Although Veena had virtually stopped eating, she had food from Baba's hands that day. Baba fed her a little and then told her to eat some more. She had no bodily consciousness and had really become like a god-intoxicated Mastani. Baba assured her father, "You are extremely fortunate and have no idea of the state she is in." To the other daughter, Mira, Baba urged, "Become like Mirabai in my love and remain pure." Side note here says one of Meher Baba's favorite saints, Mirabai, was the celebrated poetess from Gujarat and worshipper of Lord Krishna. Baba then asked Sastri to find a job for Mira, and he promised to look for one for her in Andhra. Baba then sent the family with Sastri to Andhra. Baba had recently commented about the Korean War, and on 27 July 1953, it ended. On the 29th, Baba talked with Bao about his serving Nanga Must. "You are doing an important duty. It is my work. You are helping me in my work, because looking after his health and keeping him well will help my work from August 1. From August 1, I will sit with him daily for 1 or 2 hours and give him a bath every second or third day. Don't think of your work as a pastime. It is an important duty. Keep him well." On 30 July, Baba bowed down to the sweeper boy Isa and gifted him 2 rupees. In one of Baba's songs, Isa is the translation of the word Jesus. Whoops. Baba would occasionally bow to him, to Isa, and each time Isa was thrilled, since he was always given 2 rupees. In fact, he wished Baba would lay his head on his feet more often. He would boast to his friends, "I love Baba with all my heart. That is why he gives me 2 rupees. You too must love him so that you can earn something." His friends would go to Baba on Isa's persuasion, and Isa would praise them to Baba. But Baba chose only one boy and bowed down to him. Isa would tell the others, You don't know how to love. What can I do? I always say good things to Baba about you, but you have no love within you." The same day, Prakashwadi came to see Baba with the saint Anandamayi Ma. The woman saint was given rupees 1,000 as Meher Baba's contribution to her for starting a medical dispensary in Mantri Mafi. There's some, I just want to interject, there's some videos on YouTube about Anandamayi Ma. Pretty extraordinary looking woman, I must say. Harji Wan Lal's son, Sugand, was another visitor on the 30th. His younger brother, Inder, was in England, and Baba told Suganda to join him there for further studies. A friend of Kumar's named Brahma Dut would come to Baba occasionally. Brahma Dut, or Dutt, also arrived on the 30th and brought a friend named Brahma Dev, who had been suffering from asthma for the past 7 or 8 years. In the course of conversation, when Baba asked about his illness, he described his condition. Baba advised him to fast on water for 7 days and remember him wholeheartedly. He did it and was freed of his malady. Gee, I wish that would work on all asthmatics. Maybe it would. Discussing world conditions on 31 July 1953, Baba observed, I feel that a lot of ups and downs will be experienced in the world. Tremendous upheavals will take place, and many parts of the world will be affected. This will be from natural and unnatural causes and will happen as a result of something small. Egypt is there, Iran is there, Kashmir is there, Berlin and Austria is now coming up. And there's a side note here. After World War II, Austria was separated from Germany by the Allies, and divided into zones of occupation. In 1953, serious political differences threatened a newly elected coalition government. If war breaks out, the disaster will be unprecedented. They will use atom bombs and deadly gases. But what I am going to tell you is different. It may precipitate war. A surface fire is easy to extinguish, but fires in mines and collieries are most difficult to put out. Quetta was in ruins in 5 minutes when rocked by an earthquake. 40,000 people perished in it. Was there any remedy to prevent it when it occurred? Such destruction occurs through natural and unnatural causes. Floods from the Kosi River took a toll of hundreds. Villages were literally wiped out. But the destruction could not be averted. Such disasters are on a small scale, limited to specific areas. If there is war and atom bombs are used, all nations will be involved, affected. There will be floods and earthquakes, and no remedy can be suggested for such calamities. It is said about atom bombs that they create widespread earthquakes. In the case of atomic warfare, there is a possibility of the Earth's outer crust cracking as a result of the experiments of testing the atom and hydrogen bomb. A whole island, part of the Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean, disappeared within 5 minutes. This happened because the origin of matter is gas. I have written about it in my book. When matter is vaporized, space and gas have 3 factors. The world, crores, meaning tens of millions, crores of years old, can be destroyed in 7 days. How long-lasting is this world, and how many times has it been formed and wiped out? Many a world has gone, and this too will go. To take its place, another world is being made ready. 3/4 of it is already ready. 1/4 remains to be formed. If this world is destroyed today, Evolution will start in another. Evolution consists of a fixed process of ages: Stone Age, Vegetable Age, Worm Age, and so forth. If this world is destroyed today, an interval will remain, but by natural processes, new life in a new world will take millions of years to materialize. Millions of years are required for another world to come into being. Natural and unnatural catastrophes come in cycles of time, not in ages. A cycle is made up of so many ages. Just as after 4 years a leap year occurs and a day is added for calculation purposes, instead of adding a fraction of a day monthly. Similarly, this destruction will mean leaping millions of years. There is no question of time. Millions of years mean 1 second, because there is nothing such as time. Think, or suppose, Elcha's age is 40. Looking at Elcha, Baba asked him, "Do 40 years exist for you now?" "You can understand 40 years, but not at this moment." "Why?" "Because there is no question of time." This means that you are 40 years old, but at the moment you have no realization of these 40 years, as you have no need to think of it. But if you give it a thought, then you picture the whole period of 40 years in a moment. If you do not, it does not exist for you. So in eternity, there is no question of time. Baba's comments on atomic warfare were particularly timely. 12 days later, Russia exploded its first hydrogen bomb. After the cricket match on Sunday, 2 August 1953, Baba reminisced about his childhood. "As a boy, I used to get up early in the morning and after tea go out and play cricket. On return, I would have breakfast and thereafter play marbles. After lunch, I would rest a while and then start playing gilli danda. I would have afternoon tea and at about 5 o'clock go out again to fly kites. After dinner, I would play cards. Thus I would pass my time. I want to live such a life now. But the Mandali have changed my luck, my fate. From the very beginning, I have been fond of games and listening to stories. I will come again after 700 years and be able to spend my time like that." Baba then commented about India, the habits of perfect masters, and the past habits of the different avatars. It is, however, astonishing to find that India is said to be a land of spirituality, but in no other country is found such blind faith, superstition, and practice of religious ceremonies. Now, think what people would say when I am considered a spiritual master if they found me playing cricket. 99% would say, "How could he be a spiritual master?" If tomorrow I drink liquor or have a smoke or go to a movie in public, 99% would say that such could not be the activities of a perfect master. They forget that what they eat, the Sadguru also eats. And if they go to the cinema, why shouldn't the Sadguru? If we tell them that Ram was a hunter and a meat eater, and that Krishna enjoyed the company of the gopis, they would reply, they were God-men, and as such are not bound. It is all their Leela, their play. I am now playing cricket and seeing films which were not there in the days of Ram or Krishna. Now, after 400 to 500 years, people will say that Baba was the avatar, and so he could do that. He could play cricket. He could see movies, as he was eternally free. Even saints and swamis of great repute would say the same if they were to see me indulging in such pastimes. But the Vedantists are quite well versed intellectually and should understand that perfection means in each and every thing, all round, in the highest and the lowest, quite unique and above all. The West is supposed to be materialistic. Many of my lovers there take me to picture houses, cinemas, dress me finely. They never have thoughts which Easterners have. They take me as the spiritual master, 100% like Christ. They know how Christ behaved. The West too has saints, but they never feel the way Easterners feel. Take Phyllis Frederick of America. She loves me 100% and has deep faith in me and is quite learned. She came to Myrtle Beach when I was there with the Mandali. She would always call me Baba Darling and would say, do this, do that, take fish, eat meat, come to the movies, and so on and so forth. Baba explained about Jesus and Muhammad. The life of Christ was like the life of a saint. Saints and monks also lead saintly lives, but there is a world of difference between the saint idea, the Christ idea, and the Baba idea. Suppose we drink a good amount of wine today and girls are dancing in front of us. The Mandali would not mind such actions, since they grasp their insignificance. But if some 2 or 3 swamis or Shivananda happen to see us, what would they think of it all? They will forget that masters are always free and would begin having critical thoughts. But if a philosopher from the West were to see us, he would join in the party willingly, though he knows as much about spirituality as the swamis. Muhammad enjoyed marrying 4 wives. No, he enjoined, I guess that means he recommended marrying 4 wives, though he himself had 7. He had children. But were I to marry a woman and have children, our people, Indians, would say it does not behoove me, and it is not true spirituality. If we tell them about Muhammad having 7 wives and children, they would answer, you cannot reach that state. He was the last prophet. Those who love me truly never care for such things. This all is an indication of the spiritual downfall of the East. So we'll pick up here at page 3386 next week.